Hey man, you ever look in the flat earth?
All right, truth is in the details. I made this video a little bit longer than really what I wanted to, but the reason I did was because I wanted to show, uh, obviously, that the sun is no longer in view, um, and it went to my vanishing point. Of course, as anybody should know, just like looking at the top of a table level with it, the surface is just a little sliver. Not to see, the table in its entirety, you have to rise up to see it. And when you rise up to see it, you do see the whole entire table, but you see beyond the entire table. So, in turn, if the table was very, very long, you'd have to get up very, very high to see the whole surface of the table. Um, the other thing is, right here, I always say that there's this gray point, this gray area in the distance on the horizon. And the way I look at it is the bottom is displaced upwards due to the magnification that's further away, and the clouds or the top layer is curved downward. In other words, it creates a pinching off effect of the horizon. This is why you'll never find the true horizon, even on the clearest visible days that you can get, because there's nothing that's absolutely, positively, 100% perfectly clear. There's always going to be some type of density gradient, um, and your visibility is only going to have a certain amount of distance to it to begin with. In other words, your visibility limits are limited. No matter how much um, of a zoom camera we have, a telescope we have, there's always going to be a limit. The same way with light. Light always has its limits. No matter how bright it is, it's still going to have its limits. Um, But the whole purpose of me showing the whole thing was so that you could see the sun go to its vanishing point. And as the sun does go to its vanishing point, you'll see some things like right here. If you look at the clouds above and the clouds below, you see this mirroring effect occur. And this acts just like what I want to say Raleigh's criterion. And if you're not too familiar with Raleigh criterion, um, you should Google it or look it up and check it out for yourself. It's when two objects get so far away they start blending in and becoming one object. And then that object, again, at this point where we're looking at, it's going to go to its vanishing point, always moving away in a straight line, never in a curved line. And that's why observations are very important. If you can't observe it, then what good is the observation? So again, I go out and do these observations. A lot of other people are too, and we're coming up with the same conclusions that um, basically what we're seeing is an illusion of a sun setting, and it's really not setting. Just like running two parallel lines, one above the other, eventually those parallel lines will converge to each other. And again, if you magnify the very end of your visibility to those lines, one will curve up and one will curve down, pinching off the true horizon. Now, I don't expect anybody to believe anything I say, which is absolutely fine, because I want people to go out and observe this for themselves. Now, if you don't have the same location that I have, all you need to do is find you a long, flat area where you can view the sun and watch it for yourself. I do have a unique place. Florida is very unique because we have a wide variety of different atmospheric conditions, or I should say, weather conditions, where we have difference in humidity, wind, everything. But if you notice how even these clouds are lit up white on the backside, just wait, it even gets better than this. Now, I have some, I mean, it's raining, got some rain on the lens. Also got a little bug stain or something. I may have squished a bug on my lens. So here in a little while, I'll scrape it off. I didn't notice it because I was paying attention to what's going on out into the horizon more than I was what was stuck to my lens. Uh, but of course, obviously, it's raining too, so I'm getting water droplets on. And this was something too. I wanted to show the moon so somebody wouldn't say it is the moon that's lighting these clouds up. It sure is not the moon. Um, and here again is where I say, somebody might say, well, look at there. The sun is lighting up that side of the moon. Well, yes, it is. In my opinion, it is the sun lighting that part of the moon up. But I also think that I would see the whole moon lit if it wasn't for the overabundance of light lighting one side up, which drowns out the lighter light that the moon is actually producing itself. So the moon does produce its own light. It's just that the reflected light coming off the sun is overpowering the lesser light that the moon displays itself. Um, Again, you don't have to agree with me. You can totally disagree with me. That is absolutely fine. But the thickness of these clouds, too, should be blocking out all of that light. Now, too, if you watch, I'll actually use my compensation exposure to lighten up the the background right here. I'm lighting it up. I'm making more light so you can actually see it. But then I will take the lighting down, also almost to the darkest it'll go, and obviously this light from the sun, which is supposedly went down over the curvature of Earth, cannot be lighting all the way directly through all of these clouds. Now, up at the very tip top, yes, that is light lighting through the clouds. But just wait. I've sped all this footage up, slowed it down in certain places, but most of it's been sped up. This is 2 times its speed. Now watch right here. I mean, it is absolutely awesome, beautiful when you're out there standing, because I'm getting 180 degrees with my vision, with my own eyes. I'm able to see almost 180 degrees, where with my camera, you're only limited. You're not seeing what I'm seeing with my own eyes. And that's another thing too. When we zoom completely back on these cameras, you're not getting the full perspective. Everything looks further away, but it actually isn't, because anybody that's being truthful, when you look with your own eyes and then you look at your camera, things look a lot further away, even though you're not even getting the wide angle view that your own eyes get. So um, you know, try to tell people, don't try to deceive people with, saying that, oh, this is what we see and this is what we're not seeing, because sometimes I can see the object out on the horizon, but when I zoom fully back, my camera cannot see it. But then again, I got to say the opposite way goes the other way too. Sometimes I cannot see what the object out on the horizon is until I zoom in on it. And then when I zoom in on it, to my surprise, well, not really anymore, but when I first got into this, to my surprise, I was able to see the boat complete and full in the water, on top of the water, on a crystal clear day. So again, folks, this is lighting up the backside of the clouds. People may ask, well, how is it doing that? Um, it surely isn't lighting the bottom of the clouds up due to the sun shining at the bottom of the clouds. This is reflected light off the clouds behind me, reflecting back to the clouds in front of me. That's the only explanation that I could give to it, but it certainly is not due to the sun shining from underneath these clouds. All these clouds are still lit from the top, although the sun has gone supposedly below the curvature of Earth. It has not. It has only gotten farther away, but has gotten farther away and gone into the vanishing zone where we can no longer see it with our eyes. Like I say, it went to its convergence area, and in that convergence area, you cannot see past the convergence line. It's just impossible to do. So, in turn, I always like to tell people go out and do your own observations, decide for yourself. And if you're not great at making videos, that's fine. At least you have the knowledge in your own mind and you're doing your own science. No matter what these trolls say, this is observational science, no matter how you look at it. You observe to observe and to learn. And that's exactly what I've done. Because again, I got into this really to debunk flat Earth, but became a flat earther myself. So like they say, once you go flat, you don't go back.